新年快樂，蛇年進步，大吉大利。收聽收睇緊嘅 Edge World 世界頻道同埋 Facebook 直播嘅。咁喺直播室另一邊咧，喺日本咧就我哋嘅節目主持啦，就學英文冇口音嘅 speech pathologist 就係Angela 咧，就喺對面嘅 Angela， 恭喜發財！
恭喜發財！Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me again. And for those of you who don't know me yet, I am the founder of a speech and communication skills training clinic based in Canada. And as a reminder, by speak English, no accent, we don't mean no accent at all. We mean speaking English without the influence of your first language or reducing the influence of your first language.
Right. Now, this is the second time we do this virtually, right? First time was in Hong Kong. It was semi-successful.
Semi-successful. It was my first experience needing to walk around at the same time as talking, and I was doing it on my data.
Yeah, because we were on the street, and you were very close to my old office in LKF. Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah. So lots of memory. I haven't been back for almost 4 years now.
Yeah, lots of nostalgia.
Yeah. Now, for those who are watching right now, this is live. And a lot of people actually during the Chinese New Year, they like to go overseas. The first choice is Japan, and that's where you are. But I can't even pronounce the city where you are staying right now. What is it?
Yeah, it's Kanazawa.
Kanazawa.
Yeah.
Kanazawa. And is it northwest of Tokyo or?
Yeah, northwest on the other coast. So Tokyo's on the southeast coast, and then Japan is on the northwest coast. Kanazawa is on the northwest coast.
Kanazawa. What are they famous for, Kanazawa?
Kanazawa, they're famous for their seafood, first of all, but because they're right by the coast. And then they're also famous for their samurai districts. So as I look at the map, there's a bunch of different kinds of districts where you have old samurai homes, former samurai homes.
Yeah.
Very cool to see. Right. And like tea house districts, I think.
If you talk about samurai stuff, there was a movie that I watched many times. It's called The Last Samurai by Tom Cruise. I don't know whether you saw it.
I might have seen it, but I feel like all Tom Cruise movies just blend together in my mind.
Yeah. It's quite good. Actually, the review was good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should take a look then. The Last Samurai.
Talking about the Last Samurai and when Japan needs to be industrialized. The emperor actually abandoned the samurai group which protect the emperor. So they need to be modernized. They use guns and barrels and all that. So it's swords, right? So it was a sad story. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How old is that movie?
Probably 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Oh, okay. I used to watch a lot of movies when I was a kid. My dad used to love getting us to watch those really popular movies, but I might have been too young to remember it.
Okay. Now you have you arrived at Japan a few days ago. This is a very long trip you have.
It is a very long trip. I miss Canada for sure.
I know you were in Vietnam and in Hong Kong, right?
Yeah, we arrived in Vietnam December 25th. And now it is almost end of January. Our whole trip is 6 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the last country stop, Japan?
Yes, last one. And then we leave February 3rd.
Okay. Good. Well, looking forward to seeing you for more live talk, because some people are quite interested in doing like an improvisation. 即係爆肚. In Cantonese, we call 爆肚, right?
爆肚.
You think of a topic and then you let that person use 15 minutes to prepare for it. It's like a TED Talk in improvised format. Yeah.
Wait, but you said you have 15 minutes to prepare?
Yeah, like you give me a topic, prepare for it, and then people appear on stage. I guess the second city.
It's kind of like Toastmasters.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Toastmasters, yeah. Toastmasters is focused on presentations, and You're given a topic and you have to prepare and then speak in front of people.
Okay. Now we have an audience. Thank you, Minion. Kanazawa is located in northwestern Ishikawa Prefecture.
Yep.
In the Hokuriku region of Japan. Thank you. It's somewhere western part of Japan. Okay, that's good. Yeah. And you just stay in this prefecture for the whole time, or are you going anyplace else?
Yeah, I'm just staying in this prefecture in Kanazawa, but we were in Nagoya earlier. So when we first arrived in Japan on January 20th, we were in Nagoya, and then we went to Kanazawa, and then after Kanazawa, we're going to go to Tokyo.
Good. Yeah. I wish I could visit Japan sometime at the end of this year, but it seems like Vancouver is more likely the place I will be visiting. Yeah.
Oh, really? When are you going to Vancouver?
Likely the third quarter. Yeah.
Third quarter. Okay.
Yeah. We will have the World Hong Kong Forum again in Vancouver. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Again in the third quarter. So how many times does the World Hong Kong Forum happen?
We have it like once or twice a year because of we follow what's going on in Hong Kong with the current situation, and then we try to gather the opinion from Hong Kongers living in different parts of the world. So it's like the diaspora community that we are focusing on. Yeah. So very likely, third quarter around summertime. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so let's see any more comments. This is about the last emperor. Yeah, Vicky might be from Taiwan or Hong Kong. I don't know. Yeah. We have actually prepared something very practical today, and it's the year of the snake, 四年行好運. So that the sound, we prepare something that we have to use the S word, right?
Yeah. So in the spirit of the year of the snake, I wanted to create something about the sound snakes make, the S sound, and attach it to the common difficulty that a lot of Cantonese speakers have, based on what I see. Now, granted, in Hong Kong, I heard a lot of different kinds of accents. So even though we're talking about Cantonese accents, not everyone's accent will be the same. Obviously, Ed, your English pronunciation is quite good, as some people mentioned in one of our last episodes. And not everyone will have this difficulty. But I definitely heard in some of my interactions in Hong Kong and with some of my Cantonese-speaking friends and family, I hear the difficulty in differentiating between S and SH sounds. So if you have a word, like actually we can talk about that first sentence that I gave you, see it's good versus she is good. A lot of Cantonese speakers have difficulty making the S sound really different from the SH. And also when there are lots of consonants at the end of a word, like it's versus is, it's hard to make that difference. So if you want to make sure that it's clear, you're saying, see, it's good versus she is good. You want to make sure that your tongue position is different. When you make the S, actually, in the spirit of the snake, it's very clear that the tongue can move and you need to be really in control of your tongue movements. C is made with the very tip of the tongue versus she is made with this part of the tongue. And Ed, if you try it right now, you might be able to feel that it's using different parts of the tongue.
Okay, let me try. See, it's good.
Wait, say it again. See, it's good.
See, it's good.
Yeah, versus?
She is good.
Yeah, nice. Really clear.
Let me see it the Hong Kong style way. See, it is good. See, it is good.
Yeah, so both of them are see, right?
Yeah, she is good. No. Let me say it the very Hong Kong way. See, it is good. No, just see, it is good. Yeah, and she's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard to control the accent. I was talking with a French guy in Hong Kong randomly, and he was actually, no, sorry, a French guy, one of my clients, and he was trying to demonstrate a really strong French accent versus his regular accent. And he wasn't sure anymore which accent was his because he got so accustomed to the English pronunciation. And this really goes to show that the more you practice your accent or the more you practice your pronunciation, the more natural it becomes. So for you, Ed, this way of pronouncing things, this is already your natural way. So going back to a very strong Cantonese accent might actually feel hard for you.
Now we have an audience trying to not make a joke out of it, but the leader of mainland China is Xi Jinping, right? So Xi
Oh,
Jinping. How would you pronounce it? Xi Jinping, right?
yeah, Xi Jinping.
Xi
Yeah.
Jinping. Xi Jinping, right?
Yeah. And actually some Mandarin speakers will have this difficulty with S versus SH as well.
Yeah.
Because that S sound versus the sh sound can only happen with certain vowels.
Yeah. But this definitely is a XI is a she is
Yeah.
she. But
But it's not like the English she. You wouldn't say Xi Jinping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something else.
It's a Xi Jinping.
Xi
Yeah,
Jinping.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, should we use the second example?
Yeah, second example. And for those listening, you can try it out yourself. Trying it out yourself and pronouncing the words is the best way to learn. I
Right.
talk about how the tongue feels, where you feel the sound in your mouth.
Mhm.
So for a word like sock and shock, which actually the snake example is not the best because snakes don't have lips and we have lips. When we change how our lips move, it shapes the sound as well. So if you see the way I say sock versus shock, it
Yeah.
starts off differently. One's like this and one is
Soft
like this.
versus shock.
Yeah. And that helps you shape the sound even more to make it even more clear.
Yeah.
And this goes for native speakers of English too, who don't like to use their lips to articulate and enunciate. If you hear someone talking like this the entire time, sock versus shock, it's very hard to make this sound different and really clear.
I think a few days ago I sent you something talking about difference between Australian accent versus American.
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
That
Do
was
you
very funny.
remember that video?
I do remember. So it was the actress. I can't remember what the actress's name was.
Doesn't matter.
Amy Cuddy? No, something like that. Amy Cuddy is someone else. Amy something.
Okay.
Schumer? Amy
What's
Schumer. I think it was Amy Schumer. So what she was saying was there's this concept of oral posturing, the way you set your mouth to achieve a certain way of talking. So actresses or actors like to use this all the time to mimic a more American accent versus a more British accent.
Right.
So she's Australian and she was trying to demonstrate what an American accent feels like in her mouth. And she feels like she has to widen it a lot. So she's like, hey, how are you doing? Is how she was moving her mouth with an American accent.
Yeah. Would you bite your tongue more if you widen your mouth?
No, definitely not. If you have good control over your tongue, you shouldn't be biting it.
Right. But well, let's use that example next time, right? We have to try to use that skit, the actual wording, but we don't have the script with us, so we'll
For the American accent, you mean?
Yeah, the American versus.
I think she was doing like, "Hey, how you doing?" And her mouth was moving a lot. Now my mouth moves a lot naturally anyway. But if I were to mimic a British accent, for example, my favorite one is like, "Would you like a cup of tea?"
Yeah.
I have like a more tension in my jaw. Would you like a cup of tea? And it just stays like this rather than moving like this.
Yeah. It's easier, British, but Australian and New Zealand, quite difficult.
I mean, you say it's easy because you've had exposure to those, but probably not as much Australian and New Zealand, right?
No.
Yeah,
even though my former boss was from Sydney, but that's a different story. Yeah.
Story for another day.
Yeah. Well, the phrase is he is Hong Kongized.
Hong Kongized, yeah. Oh, and actually there was another word I wanted to talk about, the word sugar.
Yeah.
And I hear people say this all the time with various language backgrounds. A lot of people think when they're learning English that they can just rely on the spelling of the word to learn the pronunciation. but this word isn't sugar, isn't it? It isn't with an S, it's with a sh sound, sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like random exceptions in English that you'll just have to learn based on your listening.
Yeah, sugar, definitely. It's not sugar. It's not.
Yeah, I hear sugar all the time.
Yeah. From where? People from Hong Kong or?
People from Hong Kong, people from like Latin American countries, any language where they get to look at the spelling to guide the pronunciation, they end up doing sugar for sugar.
Sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, or for like the word chef, they do chef.
Yeah, you lose some points in the IELTS exam, the oral exam.
Yeah, maybe. Well, if you do it consistently, yeah.
Okay, the fourth one.
Yeah, so this one is just another example of S versus SH, making sure the lips are in the right position and making sure the tongue is in the right position. Ed, why don't you demonstrate?
Save versus shave.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Great demo.
Yeah, shave. I need a shave tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not now.
That's actually a perfect sentence because if you don't say the S versus SH clearly, then it's ambiguous. I need to save, I need to shave. Versus other words in English, if you don't make it exactly clear, it doesn't really matter because people can guess based on context. But a sentence like that, you can't guess.
Yeah. How about some Japanese words in English that we can learn from you before we
Japanese words in English? What do you mean by
like when you go eating
what would
omakase, for instance, omakase style, which the chef will cherry pick whatever for you, right? It's like his choice versus yours. Omakase.
Yeah. Omakase. Yeah. We definitely have for Japanese food, we'll use words in English, of course, to order. While I'm in Japan, I learned a few phrases that are useful, but those are Japanese words. What else do we use in English? I mean, sushi, right? Sushi with S versus SH. Actually, it's interesting because coming back to the Cantonese accent, there was this friend of a friend of a friend that I talked to before, and she would say sushi as shushi, both sh sounds, because the u sound makes you round your lips, and then you end up doing something more like sushi, but sushi. Right.
Now our audience, Hankit.
Yeah, perfect. This is great. What we call these kind of words, where they would be the exact same word if just one of the sounds wasn't differentiated, we call these minimal pairs. And I use this all the time, these kinds of words, in my sessions with clients to help train their listening skills.
Okay.
Awesome example.
Same on you versus shame on you.
Beautiful.
Same on you.
Yeah, beautiful. Same and shame. That's very good one.
Thank you, Hankit, for giving us an example. Yeah. But this is quite obvious. Same versus shame, right?
I mean, for you, it's obvious, but you have to acknowledge that not everyone sees it the same way. And actually, sometimes some of the clients that I work with, or even just people who aren't doing the sessions, they think it's obvious because they see the words, they know the words are different, and in their brain it's different, but the way they say it out loud, it ends up being the same. So you have to be really careful that you're actually hearing what comes out of your mouth.
Right. I guess it's very useful, the four that we mentioned just now. Why don't we review again? See, it's good. She is good. Sock versus shock. Sugar. Save versus shave. Yeah.
Good. And both matter, tongue position and lip position, although the tongue position matters more.
Yeah. Is it meaningful for us to learn British accent in our future episodes or not? I mean, just throwing it to you.
I mean, meaningful is subjective. Is it meaningful for your viewers? Does it matter whether you learn British English versus Canadian English? Or does it matter what those similarities are? And can we just talk about clarity in English in general? So in my sessions with clients, especially for people who come from countries where there is that British influence, maybe they were a British colony. If you think about like Nigeria and Hong Kong, does it really matter if they don't use the R's at the ends of words? If they say park instead of park, it's up to them, right? But then can we talk about how in every single English for standard English variety, do they differentiate between S versus SH? Does it matter whether you say she versus she? Yes, it definitely does. Does it matter if you say father versus farther? That meaningful it's up to you. If you want to say the R's, if you want to sound more like the North American English, that's up to you. And I can definitely help with that. If you don't care about that and if British English is okay, Canadian English is okay, American English is okay, then we can talk about those differences only.
Well, I'm thinking more like those exams like IELTS and I don't know how many exams that need
the IELTS, the TOEFL, like all of those, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to learn a British accent. You don't need to learn a North American English accent. You just need to be understood. You need to know English well, English in general.
Right.
Although you need to be able to hear well as well.
Okay, we have a Winnie. Winnie, I think it's from, I don't know where Winnie lives, maybe from Australia or Hong Kong right now. Yeah. Winnie. Pay versus pray.
So good. I'm so glad that you brought up this example because those blends, those PPRs, TTRs, S plus SL, those are difficult. I was working with a professor who has a Cantonese accent, and we worked on this exact same thing because if you don't say the R really clearly in there or the L really clearly in here, then it can be really hard to tell. And actually, play versus pray would also have the same level of difficulty for people with really strong Cantonese or Mandarin accents.
I guess to be really good, like in English, I talk about TED Talk. If we can speak like in TED Talk, like of format, or if it is more like a stand-up comedian, right? Like if you perform in Toronto at the Second City, then definitely you will have an audience, and then if people can understand your jokes,
yeah. I love that you talked about jokes because I just posted something on my Instagram about understanding English humor, or honestly honestly the humor in any language. If you need to understand humor in Chinese, you need to understand how the different tones can influence the meaning of the word, right? Yeah. So in English, you also need to understand how the different similarities between different sounds influence jokes. There's this joke in Modern Family that I posted about. Have you seen Modern Family, Ed?
No.
Modern Family is a very popular TV show that people like to watch to learn English. And there's a lot of English word-based humor in there. You should definitely go watch it. Watch the clip that I posted. But
it's a new show, or
no, it's not a new show. It's not a new show. Okay. I haven't watched it personally, but I've seen lots of clips, and it's very popular. So Sofia Vergara is a Latina actress, and she has a Spanish accent. And there's a play on words in the show where she says, "Oh, feel," but the man's name is Phil, so he misinterprets it as "feel my dress," and then he goes to touch her dress. So understanding the differences and understanding the different meanings can help you understand jokes in English for sure.
Now let's take a look at a few more comments and we can wrap up. Okay, from Minion. While in Canada, speak like the Canadians. While in England, speak like the English.
And while in Japan, speak like the Japanese.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. Okay, from Winnie. I am Hong Kong. Yeah. I'm from Hong Kong. I'm Hong Kong. Yeah. People speak like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one?
Yeah, exactly. This is what I was talking about earlier, the thing that I worked with my Cantonese client. Fly versus fry. Really paying attention to the tongue position, like a snake, feeling the tongue flicker up to the roof of the mouth, making it stick for the L versus the R, different place. Fly versus fry. If you can all try it yourself in your own home.
Fly me to the moon, fry me in the pan.
Nice, good sentence.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's all for today. Wish you have a nice trip in the city.
In Japan, Kanazawa.
Kanazawa.
Yeah,
Okay.
awesome session today. I really loved how we went through a bunch of really concrete examples for everyone. And if anyone has any suggestions for words to talk about next time, put it in the chat, put it in the comments.
Yeah. And I want to ask you about the professional service too that you have that's available for your for clients who want to really brushing up their English, their accent. So this you have a private sessions, right? Yeah.
Yes, we have one-on-one sessions, and it's not just me. I have a team of speech therapists who can help with a variety of speech needs, whether you want to improve your clarity because of accent reasons, or because you mumble and you don't like to move your mouth and your lips, or if you want to improve like the TED Talks, the improv speaking, organizing your message, making sure that you're compelling in interviews. I do all of that. We do all of that.
Yeah. So for those who are interested in Angela's professional service and her team, all of your team members are licensed speech pathologists from Canada, is it?
Yes, all of them.
Okay. Last comment. Maybe you can comment on this. Friday night dinner episode. 2 siblings share their Friday night dinners at their parents' home. Yeah. I guess Minion is trying to express how to say it properly, right? Why don't you say it, Angela?
What is it about this sentence, or is Minion telling me about a joke in an episode of a TV show?
I don't know. Maybe
I'll have to look that up later.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did forget to mention, because we're all licensed speech therapists in Canada, it's often covered by your insurance. So over like the vast majority of our clients, they use insurance to pay for their sessions. So it's basically free if you have insurance through your work that covers speech therapy.
Okay. And then, hi, Michael. And it's covered by insurance. Yeah. Your service is covered by OHIP or what?
Not
insurance?
OHIP, but private insurance, like through your company or through your school if you're a student.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, a lot of companies will offer learning benefits or professional development budgets to cover this kind of training, because it's professional communication skills training.
Right. It's good to know. Yeah. I personally prefer just very simple Midwest broadcast accent. Very easy to understand.
Most people prefer that, yeah.
Yeah, instead of like New Yorker, which they curl their tongue. It's sometimes it's quite difficult. Yeah.
Oh, Minion is talking about the TV series. Yeah, I'm not sure what the exact episode is, but yeah, you might be right about that one.
Oh, okay.
Modern Family, the Friday night dinner episode. I'll have to look that up.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know. In my days, it is Sesame Street only. So, in my days. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Minion.
Yeah. Okay. Michael is responding. The TV show is called Modern Family.
And I guess the episode is called Friday Night Dinner.
Oh, Friday Night Dinner. Right. Well, something I don't know. Yeah.
Check out my Instagram later, speakfluent.speech, and then you'll see the episode posted in one of the recent reels.
Okay. So this is your website. It's speakfluent.ca, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's your website. Well, thank you, Winnie, to wrap up the program. Happy New Year to all. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year.
Yes. I'll see you hopefully very soon. Yeah.
See you back in Canada.
Yes.